So, right now, sitting in your inbox, there is almost certainly an email from some famous online guru offering you, a free 5-day
Oh,
masterclass.
yeah, definitely. We've all got them.
Right. And it feels personal. It feels super urgent. But what you probably don't know is that the guru didn't actually write it.
Nope.
And that countdown timer at the bottom, it's completely fake.
Probably automated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are basically just a single data point flowing through this really automated, deeply psychological machine. And it's designed to just effortlessly extract, say, $197 from your wallet.
Yeah, it's a machine that just runs quietly in the background of the internet, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I mean, it is incredibly effective.
It really is. And today, for you listening, we actually have the original blueprint to that exact machine.
Which is wild.
It's completely wild. We are going straight backstage into the source document titled Internet Marketing Fortune Jumpstart.
Sounds very of its era.
Oh, it is. And the mission of this deep dive is to just completely deconstruct this playbook. We want to reveal how these digital fortunes were built from scratch by basically trading words for secrets.
Right.
And we're looking at what this document exposes about the hidden mechanics of online selling that are, without a doubt, still impacting how you shop and click today.
Yeah, and to really grasp the scale of this, look at the backdrop I put up today.
Oh, wow.
It's essentially this massive blueprint. Like, think of it as a sprawling map on a corkboard, digital marketing funnels, landing pages, email scripts, affiliate links, and they're all just connecting to each other.
It's like a giant web.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because what this document does is it maps out an entire ecosystem. It's not just, a single marketing trick. It's this comprehensive backdoor entry into the digital economy.
Okay, let's unpack this, because
Yeah.
the very first step the document outlines is, well, it's entirely counterintuitive.
Yeah, it really goes against what you'd expect.
Right, because before you can sell products, you obviously need to understand how the internet marketing machine operates. And the source argues the absolute best way to do this isn't by, spending your hard-earned cash on those really expensive guru seminars.
No.
It was by becoming a ghostwriter for those very same gurus.
What's fascinating here is the core psychology driving this strategy. The document lays out these harsh truths about the digital marketplace. Like, most people simply can't write well.
True.
And even if they can, they often hate doing it because it's solitary, grueling work, right?
Right, absolutely. It's awful.
Or, if they're already these successful gurus, they simply do not have the time to sit down and type out 100 pages. So by offering to write for these established internet marketers, you aren't just getting some freelance gig. You are getting a paid apprenticeship.
Wait, I have to stop you there, because the advice the text gives is literally to accept rock-bottom, low-paying jobs at first.
Yeah, it is.
If you are listening to this, you're probably thinking, work for pennies. That sounds like a great way to get exploited, not rich.
I mean, it definitely sounds like exploitation right off the bat. But the document frames it as an investment. You are literally getting paid to learn their highly guarded marketing techniques.
Ah, okay.
You're studying their specific niches, and you're understanding the exact psychology of their customer base. You're getting inside their head.
That makes sense.
The author actually uses a sports analogy. Like, you don't become Michael Jordan overnight without getting slapped around by better players on the court first.
Right.
So you frame those low rates in your mind as on-the-job training. You are practicing on someone else's dime.
So it's less like playing in the NBA and more like being a session musician in a recording studio.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the background, laying down all the complex riffs, doing all the heavy lifting, but the pop star whose face is on the album cover is the one who takes home the Grammy.
Yep, you're trading your ego for an education.
It's basically like getting paid to sweep the floor in a Michelin star kitchen, and while you're down there, you're secretly copying down the head chef's master recipes and learning exactly how they price the menu.
That is the exact dynamic.
Yeah,
And you need incredible discipline to pull it off.
I bet.
The text explicitly warns that transitioning from a standard 9-to-5 employee mindset, where a boss just hands you tasks, to a freelancer requires brutal self-management.
And the document doesn't just give vague advice on this.
No, it doesn't.
It gets incredibly granular about the mechanics of the work.
Right. There are strict structural rules. Like, for instance, standard articles are rigidly defined as 700 to 1,000 words.
Which is about 1 to 2 pages.
Exactly. Then you have special reports, which are 4,000 plus words, coming in around 10 to 15 pages. And full ebooks are 7,000 plus words, which is 20 to 30 pages.
And it even dictates the visual formatting down to the pixel. You are instructed to use Arial 11 font and strictly use 1.1 to 1.3 paragraph spacing.
Which seems strangely specific. Like, why does the font spacing matter to a ghostwriter? Well, it's all about the mechanism of reading on a screen. Remember, in the era this strategy really took off, people were reading on CRT monitors.
Oh, right. Those big, bulky things.
Yeah, with terrible pixel density and low refresh rates. So a solid wall of single-spaced text caused visual crowding and literal eye strain.
Wow.
By enforcing Arial 11 with 1.3 spacing, the text breathes. It reduces cognitive load, meaning the customer reads longer without getting a headache and, clicking away.
That is so calculated.
And the text also includes this very specific digital era detail. Always leave the first page entirely blank so the client can insert their custom digital e-cover later.
It's basically a digital manufacturing standard.
Exactly.
And the strategic tips they give the writer are just wild. They say, never ever reveal your discounted beginner rates to other clients because it will completely ruin your long-term career positioning.
Word gets around fast.
It really does. Oh, and my favorite piece of advice for curing writer's block? The text suggests opening a blank document and typing literal gibberish until you unclog your brain.
It sounds absurd, I know. But from a cognitive psychology standpoint, it actually works.
Really?
Yeah, because writer's block is usually just a paralysis of perfectionism. Your brain is evaluating the words before you even type them out.
Oh, that makes total sense.
By typing gibberish, you bypass the evaluator in your brain. Just moving the fingers starts the engine.
Yeah.
But the absolute most lucrative tip in this section is about negotiation.
Right.
The document advises that once you get good, you stop asking for just an upfront fee. You negotiate for a percentage share of the profits in the book you're writing.
So you start acting like a partner, not just an employee.
Exactly.
But this raises a huge question. If you've spent months ghostwriting and the guru is taking all the public credit for your words, how do you actually transition from the shadows to making the real money for yourself?
That perfectly sets up the second phase of this blueprint. Because
Oh,
once you've spent time ghostwriting, you've learned the what. You know the topics that sell.
right.
Now, you have to pivot to the how. How do they actually convert a casual reader into cash? And that brings us to copywriting. This is where you move out of the shadows and step directly into the engine room of sales.
Right, because writing a 20-page informational ebook is a completely different skill set from writing a single page designed to extract money from a wallet.
Fundamentally different. Copywriting requires deep psychological insight. The document breaks down the specific three-part architecture of a high-converting sales letter.
And it's a very rigid sequence.
Very. It's problem specification, problem agitation, and finally, the solution.
The source quotes top copywriter Perry Marshall here, and it's a line that really stuck with me. He says, focus on the itch, not the scratch.
That is the golden rule of direct response marketing. And understanding why it works changes how you see every ad online.
Really? How so?
Well, most amateur sellers want to talk about the scratch, their product, the features, how many chapters the ebook has, how fast the software runs.
Right, the stuff they made.
Exactly. But the customer fundamentally does not care about your product. They only care about their own problem, the itch. The document teaches you to spend 80% of your energy making the reader acutely aware of how painful their problem really is.
And there is a literal anatomical structure to the ultimate sales page laid out in the text to achieve this. Like, it starts with the headline, which the source insists is the absolute most important part of the entire page.
Without a doubt.
Then a subheadline to pull you further in, followed by a relatable story to build empathy.
Then comes the problem agitation we mentioned. You rub salt in the wound. Only after they are feeling the pain do you introduce your product, and strictly in terms of benefits to their life, not technical features.
Right, like how it saves them time, not how many pages it has.
Exactly. You follow that with testimonials for social proof. Then, a rock-solid guarantee. Or interestingly, the text notes that if you don't offer a guarantee, you must provide a highly compelling justification for why you don't. Otherwise, the lingering risk kills the sale.
And finally, the massive buy now call to action, followed by the PS, the postscript. The document claims the PS is heavily influential, which seems weird. Like, why would a tiny note at the very bottom matter so much?
Because of how human beings actually read on the internet. Eye tracking studies show that when presented with a long sales page, a massive percentage of users don't read it top to bottom.
What do they do?
They read the headline, and then they immediately scroll all the way to the bottom to find the price.
Guilty. I definitely do that.
We all do. They want to know what the catch is. The PS catches them at their absolute most skeptical moment. It is your last chance to restate the main benefit and remind them of the money-back guarantee right when their finger is hovering over the close tab button.
It's a safety net for scrollers. That makes
Okay.
total sense. And the visual formatting tricks for the sales page are where the psychology really shows its teeth.
Oh, yeah?
The text advises reducing the physical width of the page on the screen. Why? Because it reduces saccadic eye movement. If the lines are too long, the reader's eyes wander left and right and they lose their place. By creating a narrow chute, you force them down the page like a water slide.
You stick to common fonts like Arial, Verdana, or Tahoma.
And crucially, you remove all other hyperlinks from the page. There is no navigation bar. The only exit is the Buy Now button.
You are systematically removing every single distraction. And this psychological engineering carries over to what they call the squeeze page.
Yes. The squeeze page is a fascinating mechanism. It's a much shorter landing page. It's not trying to sell you a product for money right away.
Right.
It's designed purely to capture your email address, getting you to opt in. They usually offer a free report or some teaser copy in exchange, and they heavily utilize countdown deadlines and scarcity factors to force you to enter your email right then and there.
Yep.
But here's where it gets really interesting, because the source explicitly states that customers are, quote, lazy by nature, and that they will procrastinate giving you money unless you force a deadline.
Which sounds harsh.
It does. We need to talk about this. Is this just practical business mechanics, or does this cross a line into behavioral engineering and psychological warfare?
Well, let's look at the mechanics of it. From the perspective of the document, it's sheer pragmatism based on human behavior. Human beings have massive inertia. Even if you have a solution that genuinely solves someone's problem, their natural instinct is to say, I'll think about it tomorrow.
And tomorrow never comes.
Exactly. Tomorrow never comes. So from the marketer's point of view, creating artificial urgency, like a fast action bonus or a ticking clock, is seen as necessary friction. You aren't tricking them. You are engineering a scenario that forces them to make a decision, yes or no, right now.
It's fascinating because getting that email address on the squeeze page is just step one. Because the real reason these marketers are desperate for your email is to feed you into an automated machine.
Right.
This is the bridge from making a one-off sale to generating continuous passive income.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is where the true genius of the system reveals itself. The text introduces the concept of autoresponders.
Right.
Now, these aren't simple out-of-office replies. These are highly strategic, pre-written sequences of follow-up messages sent on a strict automated schedule to prospects who gave their email but didn't buy the main product immediately.
The source gives a brilliant specific example of how to structure this, a free 5-day email course. Let's break down how insidious and effective that is. Day 1 lands in your inbox, and it just hooks you on the basics of the topic. It builds trust, gives you a quick win.
Then Day 2 arrives automatically exactly 24 hours later. It shifts gears immediately into agitating the problem.
Just like the sales letter.
Exactly. For example, if it's a course on copywriting, it spends the whole email showing you how much money you were losing every day because you don't know how to write a good headline.
Wow.
Day 3 provides some free sample headlines to prove their expertise. But here is the key. Throughout every single one of these emails, they are constantly dropping subtle links back to the main paid product.
Think about your own inbox right now. How many free 5-day courses or 7-day challenges have you signed up for, only to realize by day 3 or 4 that you're actually sitting right in the middle of a carefully orchestrated, fully automated sales funnel?
Almost all of them. And because it's automated, the marketer is making sales while they sleep. But it gets exponentially more lucrative when the document introduces affiliate marketing. This is making money by referring your email list to other merchants' products.
The mechanics of this rely on tracking links, or cookies. When someone clicks your special link in an email, the internet remembers you sent them. If they buy, you get a cut.
Yep.
And the profit margins mentioned in this text are staggering. We are talking 40% to 75% commission for selling digital products. Compare that to maybe 5% to 30% if you're promoting physical goods like books or electronics.
And the reason for that massive discrepancy is marginal cost. Digital products have zero reproduction cost. A PDF or a video course costs the exact same amount to deliver to one person as it does to 10,000 people.
That makes a lot of sense.
So the product creators can afford to pay massive, 75% bounties to affiliates who bring them buyers. The document uses a fascinating analogy to explain how to wield this power, the doctor's prescription.
I thought this was such a perfect way to visualize it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It says that if you spend time through your ebooks and autoresponders, positioning yourself as a trusted educational expert, your audience will eventually buy your recommended affiliate products without a second thought.
Wow.
Just like a patient goes to the pharmacy and buys whatever medicine the doctor prescribes without ever questioning the brand, you become the authority.
The text even gives a specific era-appropriate example, telling the reader they could promote a marketer named Mike Dillard of Magnetic Sponsoring to their audience.
Classic.
The mechanics are beautifully simple. The audience trusts you. You write an email recommending Mike Dillard's course. They click and buy. And you instantly pocket a 50% commission for doing nothing but sending an automated email to a list you already built.
You're monetizing the trust you systematically manufactured during the ghostwriting and copywriting phases.
But eventually, even the greatest copywriter with the best autoresponders hits a wall.
Right.
You still only have 24 hours in a day to write the emails, create the initial products, and manage the site. So the final step in this internet fortune playbook is stepping back from the keyboard entirely and becoming what is essentially a digital CEO.
Scaling the empire. The document details 3 distinct ways to do this: outsourcing, joint ventures, and leveraging what's called PLR.
Let's start with outsourcing because the advice here is hilariously blunt. The source explicitly recommends hunting down college students for your writing and design needs.
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat it.
If you're listening to this, you're probably thinking, is a random college student really going to deliver professional quality?
Well, the document argues that professional quality isn't the priority. Efficiency is. College students are desperate to pay tuition, which means they will gladly accept much lower freelance rates than established professionals.
Ruthless pragmatism.
Exactly. But the document also addresses a major fear many beginners have.
Sure.
What if I'm not good at English? Or what if you're not a native speaker?
The source's argument here is fascinating. They argue that perfect, grammatically flawless English doesn't actually sell products. Good content and good ideas sell products.
Precisely. The strategy is that you, as the CEO, come up with the structure, the outline, and the marketing angle. Then you just outsource the actual typing to cheap native speakers.
So you manage the content, you don't create it.
Exactly. And if you don't want to pay upfront at all, you engage in joint ventures or JVs. You partner with established bloggers or ebook resellers, or maybe you find someone with brilliant ideas but terrible English.
Right.
And you offer to polish and market their work for a strict 50-50 split of the profits.
But the absolute wildest part of this scaling strategy is the underground economy of PLR, private label rights. If you're listening, you are probably going to wonder if this is even legal.
It is a concept that completely blows people's minds if they aren't in the industry. The source document actually includes high-value bonus access to specific membership sites as part of its package to get you started.
Right.
Sites like resellrightsmastery.com, which it claims is a $197 value, and plrsecretsexposed.com, a $97 value. We even saw a bonus image from an internet marketer named Edmund Lowe promoting a product called Eva's Models You Can Copy, pushing these exact rights.
So what does this all mean? Let me make sure I'm understanding the mechanics of this PLR concept correctly. You're telling me I could go to one of these sites, buy a pre-written ebook that someone else wrote, legally slap my own name on the cover as the author, have my outsourced college student rewrite the sales letter so it looks fresh, and then sell it to my email list and keep 100% of the profit.
That is exactly what it means, and yes, it is entirely legal within the terms of those specific sites.
It is insane.
When you buy private label rights, you are buying the right to claim authorship. You can chop the book up into 10 different articles. You can record yourself reading it and sell it as an audio course. You can change the title and the character names.
Wow.
It is a digital assembly line where you are no longer a writer or an expert. You are purely a brand manager and a distributor.
It's literally like going to a factory, buying a massive generic box of cereal, printing a shiny new cardboard box with your smiling face on it, and selling it to your audience as your secret, long-held family recipe.
It is the ultimate evolution of the strategy. Let's look at the arc. You start out writing for pennies as a ghostwriter, getting slapped around to learn the ropes.
Right.
Then you master the psychology of the sales letter and the narrow shoot squeeze page to capture leads. Then you build automated autoresponders to generate passive affiliate income. And finally, you just buy PLR products so you never have to write another word yourself. You sit at the top of an automated empire.
It's a complete end-to-end roadmap. So to summarize the journey we've just taken, We started with the humble $10 article, learning the ropes as an apprentice in the shadows. We moved into the intense, highly structured psychology of copywriting learning to focus on the itch, not the scratch.
Yep.
We built the passive income engine using 5-day email courses and affiliate tracking links. And we finally reached the top of the mountain, buying the rights to other people's work to scale endlessly.
This raises an important question for everyone listening, though. Why does dissecting an old document like Internet Marketing Fortune Jumpstart actually matter to you today?
Oh, because it's older material.
It matters because this blueprint didn't disappear. It just evolved.
Okay.
Every single time you are asked for your email address in exchange for a free guide, every time you find yourself reading a bold, narrow-margin headline, or every time you feel the pressure of a limited-time fast-action bonus in your inbox, you are navigating the exact machinery laid out in this manual.
You're in the funnel.
You are inside the funnel right now. And understanding the anatomy of that funnel, knowing why the autoresponders are spaced 24 hours apart, and knowing why the squeeze page is designed to force human inertia, makes you a much savvier consumer.
Absolutely.
It allows you to recognize when your psychology is being intentionally agitated so you can make a logical decision rather than an emotional one.
Which brings up a really provocative final thought to leave you with. We've just seen how this entire online knowledge ecosystem was designed. It's built on a foundation of anonymous ghostwriters secretly drafting content for famous gurus.
Yeah.
And it scales by marketers buying private label rights to instantly become the authors of products they didn't even conceptualize.
It is entirely a house of mirrors.
Exactly. So if everyone is outsourcing to college students ghostwriting for each other and repackaging generic PLR content, where does the original knowledge actually come from anymore? The next time you are reading a brilliant, life-changing insight from an online expert, ask yourself, are you actually hearing the master, or are you just reading the ghost? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.